Here we go. Hello again, part 2 of Paint Along with Rob, and here I'm going to actually get round to doing some cleanup. Right, it would be the same method as any other removal of mould lines on figures. It shouldn't be a long one, this one, but during the course of cleaning the first figure up, I discovered a few things that help speed it up or made it easier, and tools that I found easier at the end. If I'm cleaning up a figure, I would normally use a knife blade to remove seam lines, and this would be no exception. To start off with, you can see, I think the weird thing with these is that there seems to be seam lines in many directions and they're not predictable. So there is a kind of a seam of some description coming across here, and I have a scalpel blade. This is a number 11, fairly fresh. Use fresh ones as fresh as they can be. To do this, it makes it easier, and all we're going to do is remove that with a scraping action. There are mould line removers that some of you may have received in part of your packages from Malcolm. I don't have one. I do, but I've never used ones and I've been doing it this way for so long that I'll carry on. So it's you're effectively holding the blade. I'm doing this under the camera, which makes it weird, and you're scraping across against the seam, so I'm not trying to carve it off. I'm not trying to do anything more than just scrape perpendicular, or 90 degrees to where that line is. Hopefully now, this does actually raise an interesting point. You'll understand what I mean. This is a very lit straight line and a sharp end, and I'm not going to be able to find it now, am I? Oh yeah. You'll find that because the nature of the curved surface, this is a convex and concave surface of an animal, as opposed to the angular surface of a tank or an aeroplane or something, and a rounded blade can often do a better job of removing, getting to some of those undulating shapes, he said, trying to keep it in focus. And for this, I'm actually holding in my fingers, which is because it can actually give you a little bit more control at times. This is what is it? What does that say? It's a 15, I can't remember. But you'll notice this kind of raises the issue of the type of plastic. You can see it's going quite white as I'm scraping and leaving a lot of dust or not, it's not even dust, it's sort of soft plastic that's come away. Oh, you can see that seam across the front of the leg there. I'm touching that so gently, you can see it kind of pop up. That's not going to look very nice with paint on it, so I want to remove that. And this would be easier on a harder plastic figure from, say, Tamiya. Which is why a good old needle file. Ooh, a good old is another tool that you can use to do this. Probably it does leave quite a dusty surface. We're at 5 minutes because we do waffle a little bit, sorry. But now we're going to do the trick, which I don't know where I heard about this. I don't know if I made it up myself, but what we're going to use is some extra thin Tamiya extra thin cement. I suspect all the liquid cements will do the same. I did initially in the session on Thursday use this one, which I've used on a Tamiya kit if I've done something similar, but that might be because it's a harder plastic and works better. This is a softer plastic, as I've said, but remarkably just brushing some of this over the area that we sanded down actually smooths out and removes some of the, I mean, I'm obviously doing this on camera. I did some on the front of the leg. And kind of, it softens the plastic and the seam area, and it creates quite a better there than on the leg at the moment, because I haven't done that one quite so well. But you get the idea. I would now, rather than bore you senseless going through every single part that I would want to remove, and you watching that, I'm going to go and do this more comfortably than on a video. But that is the principle of what I'm doing. I'm using knife blades, I'm using needle files, sandpaper might get involved in places as well, to remove all the seam lines that would, if I put paint on it, would look a little bit ugly. And I'll come back when we get to the next stage. Thank you very much.